Aloha, my people. It's me, Trey. I just thought it might be a little bit amusing to discuss the subject of how is it that I am so sure that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the dark side and the negative aliens. And I myself am so blessed that I have never had a physical abduction. Well, of course, it was seeded into our collective imagination from. I even saw the original Star Wars movies, one or two of them, in the movie theater as a little boy. George Lucas' fertile imagination certainly impressed me. But of course, sources such as Dan Willis say that Gene Roddenberry had disclosure, and so that we grew up also with Star Trek, going boldly where no man has gone before. And so, but you know what? I was ostracized and copied and loved and hated for my large head and my large artistic talent since I was a small little boy. And so I've always wondered, am I a ET with this cranium? Am I the ET? I always wondered. Watching films such as Batteries Not Included as a little kid and Spaceballs and but certainly, of course, E.T. the extraterrestrial. However, after what occurred to me as far as illness and wellness and professions, um, it seems to be clear the targeting, and it's sad that, uh, the way they treat people like me is that, to try to get me to character assassinate myself. There's so many different means and ways. Shoot, I went to the psychiatrist and asked them to give me antidepressants when I was 14 years old. It was on my own choice. How much more of a inner evil alien can you get than that? I mean, I chose to do that myself. Took Paxil for a month when I was 14, Prozac for a month when I was 15. I mean, if that doesn't qualify me for being alien, then what could? I mean, so anyway, I was real into music, and the music helped me to heal as a teenager and a 20-something. And I told my spirit guides at one point, seeing the communion and the one I wanted to mention that not many people saw was called The Flight of the Navigator. And it turns out it was the exact opposite of these 20 and back programs on the Disney version. It came out when I was about 8 years old, and it was about an 8-year-old boy. He hopped on a spaceship on a saucer, and he went for what seemed to him like a couple of days, or I forgot whether it was a few days or 3 hours. And he came back, and it was 20 years later on Earth. So it's interesting. And so that struck in my mind when I heard about these secret soldiers and their 20-year and back program. Anyway, so for me, certainly when they say I fell over my bicycle, quote, and was ran over by a PG&E truck, maybe I've got to go to a county over and get a lawyer to deal with it just to have peace of mind. But couldn't find, out of almost 10 in Santa Cruz, none of them would bite the hand that fed them with the cops. But after 5 days in the Santa Clara Valley Trauma Center, luckily they took me over the hill, because they made me do the PCR test on myself, but they didn't make me take the shot or And after 5 months, healed all 15 broken bones, nothing but THC and CBD. You know, they probably cloned me, implanted me, and all that during that time. But the thing is that I just have so much evidence that the dark side is fake. But clear evidence as well that the Christ is the real creator, the pure, divine, respectful being that originally was here. I've always known that. This is one of the reasons I think they targeted me beside my high IQ artistic talent. It was, you know, they track everyone, such as myself, whether I'm part alien or not. But I did tell my spirit guides, probably in my 20s or so, you know, I don't want to deal with this issue of is there or is there not ETs or aliens or divine other beings or somebody, the possibility that I could get raped or, you know, hurt. However, having the Mr. Essay in my blood all those years, you know, I felt like the disease itself was certainly a mutation and an alien implant for sure, which I still don't even question that side of it. In the hospital version, they kill people with, and it's, you know, the opposite of COVID-19. They don't, instead of lying and saying that someone died of it on the death certificate, they erase it off. But it's definitely an alien. So anyway, but I told my spirit guides, you know, I just don't want to deal with this issue. It's too heavy. I want to just write songs about girls and women and have fun. And so it's very funny. Okay, the year was 2012. They said the Mayan calendar ends. It's going to be a new cycle, a new beginning. The sixth sun. I'm December 15th, my birthday. I'm number 6, the sixth sun we're in now, right? So going through the northern lights and the asteroid belt and all the crazy shit that's going to happen and already happened since then. And so I'm at my cousin Andy's house and I'm reading this book. It was this guy said he was channeling the spirit of Lazarus from the Bible about a year before I was born. One of these channeling books. And this is another example of something that I think is kind of an ET phenomenon that I was getting into at that time for the first time in life in my mid-30s, starting to read. First it was the Seth materials, then other channel books. No, I read Ezekiel's book when I was younger in my early 20s, so I guess I had it a little bit. Anyway, I was in Andy's storage room, not December 21st, but December 25th, 2012, Christmas Day. And his storage room underneath the stairs with all his storage stuff. And so this white ball, I'm just going to hold this light to represent it. It was about that big. It was about the size of a volleyball or a basketball, or in between that and the size of a baseball, about in between like this. And it just flew. And this is Sacramento, California, in the suburbs. And it just flew into the room like this, through the door, and it just sat there for about a minute or so or less, or 30 seconds. Then it flew through the other door. It just flew, you know, might have been the size of a head. I don't know, somewhere in there. And it just hovered for a minute. And so that night we're watching the Harry Potter movie, the newest fresh Harry Potter movie on their flat screen TV. And I see that it's a character in the movie, right? I said, oh, well, they're used to seeing those kind of ETs over there in England all the time. And of course, when they locked down the world in 2020, but when they forced everyone to microwave their head with the cellular phone and started ripping out all the payphones around the year 2001 or 2003 when they came out, I thought that was an ET evil alien takeover. But when they locked up the world and tried to make everyone take these shots and wear the mask and take these robot blood clot shots, I really, that's when I went to Dan Willis as the webmatrix.net after I had the accident again because I couldn't work or do my one-man band even. And then I went to Laura Eisenhower turned me on to Lisa Rene, and I poured through Lisa Rene's Ascension Glossary. And after it took me 3 months to read Dan Willis' entire website, thewebmatrix.net, and I just felt even more compelled than I had watching Alex Jones to tell the world. And so, as I said a moment ago, my only physical experience with other dimensional beings that was, besides them trying to control me through anxiety and Santa Cruz, like I said, the fourth dimensional parasite, piece of shit antiverse or whatever, Zeta or Draco demon entities, archonic reptilian idiot spirits who have no respect. It was just this light, it looked like that. It was like, whoop. Just all of a sudden there it was, just a ball of light. And I didn't feel intimidated. I just felt a great sense of awe, like, whoa. It's pretty eerie. It was cool. I wasn't scared. I thought it was cool. But I thought it was really funny that it was December 25th, 2012. If you enjoyed this, click my eerie subscribe button. Have a great night or great day, morning or afternoon, wherever it is, wherever you are in the world.